Over the past few weeks, I've been collecting questions from you that range from how to use your planner, organization, time management, and even questions about myself. And today I'm going to be answering those questions. I really appreciate those of you who sent those questions in and are participating in this Q&A. This one is from Lee. My question is, are you okay? Still worried about your healing from your accident? So thank you for your concern. I really appreciate all of you who have reached out to me asking me if I'm okay. I do feel better, but I can't use my left hand right now, so that's really limiting my ability to get things done. But in one of the upcoming unboxing videos, it's going to be pretty interesting. I'm going to have my husband act as my left hand, and I will be using my right hand, so we'll see how that goes. Trishfish5 asked, I was wondering if you have any tips for how to stay on top of your plans throughout the week. I love decorating and organizing at the beginning of the week, but by Wednesday and Thursday, I stop checking it and forget about it. So my first tip for this is to place your planner in a location that is easily accessible. So for myself, that means on the kitchen table. I look at my planner first thing in the morning while I'm eating breakfast, and then my planner is also the first thing I see when I walk in through the door after I get home from work. Another idea is to set reminders on your phone for those days that you are struggling with checking your planner. So for example, maybe at 8 a.m. you'll have a reminder alarm going off to check your planner on your phone. And then you get started on that task, and then maybe again at 10 a.m. another reminder goes off to check your planner again. And I actually use my phone myself to set reminder alarms if I know that something is time sensitive and maybe I'm not going to be near my planner at the time that I need to do it. So for example, posting the winner of the giveaway, I will set a reminder alarm on my phone to go off at 6:55 p.m. so I know that I need to be on my computer and be ready to post who won the giveaway by 7 p.m. Kelly Canestra wants to know, how do you keep all of the planners in order? I'm working on getting another one, but I'm not sure. I still have my new Socialite, but don't know what to use it for. Need some advice. So Kelly, I have a home planner which I keep out on my kitchen table at all times, and this is really the home base, the master planner, and it tells me when I need to reference my other planners. So for example, if I need to reference my social media planner that day, then I'll have that written down as a task for the day, and I'll go to the cabinet where I store my planners, which is right next to where I keep my home planner, and I'll grab my social media planner, and that'll have all the tasks that I need to do that are related to my YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook group, etc. For anything to do with menu planning, I'll say see menu planner, and I'll grab this, and it'll have all of the meals that I'm going to be making. It has the recipes in here, the shopping list, any other information that I'm going to need in order to prepare the meals. And the reason why I have multiple planners is because I can't keep all of my tasks in my home planner. It just doesn't fit. There's too many tasks in the day to write down in one day in my happy planner. So I have a faith planner, a home planner, social media planner, menu planning planner, and I have a work planner which is at work right now because I keep it open on my desk at work at all times, and anything to do with work stays at work. I don't bring home anything, so it's kind of a separate system outside of the planners that I use here at home. As far as what to use your new Socialite planner for, I would make a list of what your top priorities are, and there's so many different ideas of what you could use it for. For example, maybe you want to use it for hobbies like gardening or crafting, keeping track of finances, cooking, cleaning, house projects, career projects, gratitude, diet and fitness, your career or work, personal development and goals, spirituality, health, kids, memory keeping. There are so many different things that you could use your planner for. Natasha C. wrote, what advice would you give for creating an office planner space that is creative yet functional? I've been feeling the need to redesign my space, but the thought of starting it is overwhelming. So Natasha, I'm actually in the process of redesigning my craft room right now. So I'm kind of having that struggle myself with feeling of being overwhelmed. So what I did was I broke up all of the items that I have in my craft room planner space into separate categories. So for example, I have my card making category, I have my sticker cutting category, I have scrapbooking supplies, and I'm going to be setting up different stations in my room to correlate with each of those categories. And what I mean by station is it could just be a box, and in that box, so for example, for stamps maybe, in that box I have all of the wooden stamps, all the clear stamps, the stamping blocks, the inks, etc. in the same location. So I'm going to have a gift wrapping station, and in that gift wrapping station, I'll make sure to include every item that I need in order to wrap gifts. So that means that I will have the tape there, I will have scissors there, so I don't have to go looking for them because everything is there already in that space. So basically I'm going to be storing like with like. And as far as keeping it creative but also functional, what I've decided to do is to have functionality as the priority, but to incorporate creativity through things like decorative boxes to store things in. Or I can put up colorful artwork on the walls, make cute labels for each of the boxes. I'm going to be adding pops of color through paint colors. I'm going to be focusing on storing things in drawers and boxes, out of sight but labeled at the same time. And I'm going to go into much more detail on this once I do my craft room tour, which hopefully will be posted within the next few months. We're still in the middle of construction and we're building a closet and a wall and putting in new flooring, and it's taking a lot of time. But I'm really excited to show you guys how I'm going to be organizing that space and walk you through it step by step. A Virtuous Woman 31 wrote, I love that you are super organized. When do you find the time to plan along with working and spending time with your husband? So my husband has a planner too. This is what it looks like. And we try to schedule around each other based upon what activities we have to get done each week so that we can spend time together. We definitely make sure that we sit down to eat dinner together each day, even if we both have things to work on. And we make sure that we're going to church together, and sometimes we can try to get a hike in. Every night we try to spend at least 30 to 45 minutes just talking and catching up. And then as far as finding time to actually plan, for me, planning doesn't really take up that much time. I spend about 30 to 45 minutes on Sunday planning out the entire week. And then each day I only spend about 5 minutes doing any planning. And that's really just migrating the tasks that didn't get done to the next day, or making sure everything's checked off that I did get done, or canceling items if they're no longer relevant and no longer need to be done. So in total, that's only a little over an hour a week that I spend actually planning. And I have more information about my planning process in my How to Prioritize video, which I'll link down below for you. I also don't decorate my planner every week because I do not have time for that. I only decorate at times when I feel like I want to and it's going to be fun for me. When I first started planning, I was trying to decorate every week and I just got burnt out. So now I try to prioritize functionality as the top thing that I spend my time on. Archie's Creations asked, what inspired you to start your own YouTube channel? I was inspired to start this YouTube channel because I wanted a place where we could each come together to do something that we love, share our passions for crafting and planning, and also become more organized and productive along the way. Are you a full-time YouTuber? I'm not a full-time YouTuber, but I do have a full-time job as a cell and molecular biologist. YouTube or Netflix if you had to choose one? I prefer YouTube over Netflix just because it provides so many more options for content, and I really like to watch self-improvement videos, and I feel like there's a lot more self-improvement videos available on YouTube. Pinky Noble asked, what's your educational background? I have a master's degree in cell and molecular biology. I minored in chemistry for my bachelor's degree, and I also have a certificate in biotechnology. But this also leads into Trish Fish 5's question, which is, what made you want to become a scientist? I'd love to hear more about your career. I have been really interested in cell biology since I took my first biology class in 7th grade. In 9th grade, I got the opportunity to be a part of this internship where I got to work with research scientists in Antarctica that were collecting whale acoustical data, and I was able to analyze that data and present what I found at a world conference. I also got to go on an instrumentation servicing cruise with some researchers from UC San Diego where we collected and deployed acoustical recording packages. And meeting researchers like Dr. John Hildebrand and seeing how passionate they are for what they do really sparked in me this desire to become a researcher. My favorite part about science is its ability to save lives and improve the quality of health for others. So far I've gotten to do cancer research, Alzheimer's disease research, and right now I'm looking into this transcription factor called ARID5A that we believe plays a role in obesity. I love how we can use the data that we collect from experiments to piece together like a puzzle in order to answer a question. And TrishFish5 also asked, do you have a favorite planner spread you've created? My favorite planner spread so far has been the Beauty and the Beast planner spread because I was obsessed with Beauty and the Beast growing up. My room was decorated for it. I went to go see them live, and it was something really meaningful to me to be able to kind of dive back into those memories when I put together that spread. Archie's Creations wrote, can you give some advice on how to stay organized always? I'm not organized always. There are always going to be things that come up in your life that are out of your control, and no matter how much preparation you do, you cannot prevent it from happening. So I think the important thing is to just be flexible and to prepare when you can. So for example, my Thanksgiving series, I'm showing how to prepare 3 weeks before, 2 weeks before, etc. because I know that things are going to come up last minute that you don't expect. And when you are prepared, you're better able to handle that because the work is already done. So for example, on Friday when I was hit by a semi-truck while driving home, I was definitely not organized. Dinner did not get cooked. I did not even look at my planner, obviously, because I was at the hospital. And the point of this is that life is unpredictable, and there's only so much that you can do to be prepared because there are going to be events in your life that you don't foresee coming. And we need to be flexible and okay with that. Donna Dover Spike asks, do you have a war room or prayer planner, and if so, what do you have in it to help your walk with the Lord? I don't have a war room, but I do my quiet time at my kitchen table in the morning before breakfast, and I write down my prayers in my faith planner. Maria D wants to know, do you have any Bible study books or guides that have really helped you and that someone can order online? So one of my favorite Bible study books so far is Having a Merry Heart in a Martha World by Joanna Weaver. And this book really centers around the message that it's not about what we do, it's about what Jesus did. So we need to focus our life away from the hustle and bustle of every day and turn that focus onto Jesus. And for me, it was a really eye-opening experience because I realized how much I allow worry in my life to affect my relationship with God. And as far as an actual Bible study guide, I really recommend Rick Warren's Bible Study Methods. It walks you step by step through 12 different methods, starting out with the easiest method and then working your way up. And he also gives you a reading guide of which verses you should practice each method on. So I'll leave the link to these as well as some other Bible study books that have been helpful for me in the description down below for you. Francesca Wright asked, I started using my first Happy Planner this year and am new to decorating and using stickers. I've used a planner for functional planning for years. I want to be more organized like you, but find it difficult to stick to one day a week to work on my planner. How do you stay so organized? I work from home and find the time just slips away from me a lot. And I wind up not getting to my goals because I'm putting out fires, so to speak. What would you recommend to stay focused and check off to-do lists without distractions? So one idea is to make an appointment with yourself every morning before the people in your house wake up, before you start receiving phone calls, before you check your email. And during that appointment, you pull out your planner and you look at what you have to do that day. I do this while I'm eating breakfast when no one is around in the house to talk to me or distract me. And it really focuses my mind on what I have to get done that day. And if you schedule enough time for yourself, you can start working on your most important task for that day, which is based upon what your goals and your projects that you're working on at the time are. As far as the issue of putting out the fires, so to speak, maybe you could assign blocks of time where you focus on putting out the fires, and then the rest of your day, you tell people, I need to focus on this project right now. I am available from the hours of 1 to 4 tomorrow to help you with this, but at this point, I need to focus on the project that I'm working on. For me, what it comes down to is setting boundaries with other people. I know for myself, I have a really hard time saying no, and I have to evaluate if what someone is asking me to do is important or urgent. A lot of times, if it's just urgent and it could be done by someone else, maybe that means that I can delegate it to someone or ask someone to help me out because I don't have enough time to do all of the things that everyone is asking me to do. So for example, maybe you want to schedule an appointment with yourself where you only answer emails and make phone calls from 1 to 2 o'clock every day. And then once 2 o'clock hits, you close your email and you get focused on the project that you need to complete for your work. I realize that the majority of putting out fires, by nature, it's unpredictable. People are going to come up to you at all hours of the day asking you for help, especially if you have children or are taking care of a disabled family member or something like that. Like, you don't have an option in those cases because they need your help right there and you're the only person that they can depend on. But in cases where people who are independent and who can possibly wait until you've completed the task you've worked on, that can really help you with being able to follow through on the tasks that you have planned for that day instead of constantly being interrupted. So planning only once a week isn't necessarily the solution for everyone. So if it's not going to work for you, then you don't have to force yourself to do it. What you could do is break it up into 3-day planning sessions, so you plan out the next 3 days in your planner, or you could even plan out just tomorrow in your planner each night if you are able to find the time to do that. And it's difficult to see 1 week ahead. I know sometimes for me, there are some tasks that I don't know I'm going to have to get done until later on in that week, and I'm not able to write that down on Sunday. So maybe your schedule requires more flexibility. Another idea for staying focused is setting a timer and using that timer. So, for example, if you know that after about an hour of work, you find yourself on Instagram, let's say, and you set a timer to go off after an hour, and that timer goes off and you see, oh, I'm looking at Instagram, I'm not working on my project, then that's a trigger to you to get back to the project. There are Pomodoros, which I have a video that I'll link down below for you, which are really good for breaking up your projects into smaller chunks. For me, those are so helpful for projects or even just cleaning the house, because it incorporates small breaks so that you really optimize your focus throughout the day. Mohammed Adil asked, what is your favorite channel? My favorite channel is Pretty Neat Living with Jennifer Ross. I absolutely love her personality. I feel like she's such an authentic and sweet person that if I met in real life, I would really like to be friends with her. And I also absolutely love how she approaches organization. I feel like she's one of the most organized people I've seen, so I could watch her videos all day. Thank you so much for participating in this Q&A and submitting your questions. I really appreciate it, and I hope that you got some ideas about maybe time management, organization, or just using your planner in general. And now I have a question for you. Which YouTube channel is your favorite? And if it's mine, just tell me what your second favorite YouTube channel is. I really want to get to know you better. So please leave it down in the comments below, and I'll see you soon. Bye!